Hello and welcome to the Unwritten Life. It looks a little different today and I'm alive. I'm gonna tell you more about that important thing later. I have done a lot of my puzzle. I will do my best to remember to show you everything by the end of today's video. I now have the lid again. I finished kind of all the puzzle pieces that was in the lid so I can actually see the picture. And I found myself, I'll probably need it more now than when I did all the different colors, because most of what is left is a lot of the dolphins and the blue. So like, the top part that I'm realizing now that you can't see all that well. Sorry about that, but it happens. I've done so much, and since I had the picture again, I could move things around to more the right places instead of having them like some of the things were basically on the opposite side. Like some of these puzzle pieces were here. And when none of the pieces stick together, even getting them on a thin piece of paper, well, that is challenging. I couldn't just pull them over because it was a thin piece of paper in the way, so I had to move a lot of the pieces just, even though they were together, I had to move them one by one or two by two. Boy, was that annoying. So yeah, that was the thing. But I don't know, will I need this? I mean, I've gotten used to not having it because I used the top as basically a thing for having all the pieces in. So for now, you can't see it, but I'm just putting it there. So now I get to use the bottom. This is where all the pieces are now. All the blue, all the dolphin pieces, and basically everything is in here. So as usual, I hope you can hear me. It's a thing. I hope I can figure this out. Also, as usual. But, one thing at a time. There's a lot of fishes here. Wait, hold on. We got the first piece of the day put in. Yay. So, yeah, as I said, I'm alive. Which, I wasn't really worried I'd die, but I was worried that I would seriously injure myself. Because, occasionally that might happen if you're not careful. So be careful. It kind of started with my parents coming to visit and helping me out. And it was great. And that's not why I, questioned myself for a moment. As usual, where do I start? Well, yeah, my parents came to visit. It was nice. They helped me out with some things, and some places were cleared, and I built a wooden box. It was very exciting. I'm not going to show you today, but I'm going to try to show you soon. I was going to show you the garden, but, things happened. When my parents were here, though, how am I going to talk and puzzle at the same time today? I'm a little scatterbrained, but we'll get there, hopefully. But yeah, my parents came to visit. It was nice. One of the things we did was my mom was helping me trim a plum tree because it had a lot of dead branches in it. So it's good to get dead branches off so the tree can focus on, the parts that are alive. That is usually a good thing. And it was a good thing, I hope. I mean, I haven't, what can I say? I haven't asked the tree yet, but one plum tree in particular still has these almost thorns that are like big ones. thick ones by the tree, and like they're not actually thorns, but I don't remember what they're called in English. Oh, who am I kidding? I don't know what they're called in English, but I don't remember what my dad said they were called in Norwegian. But they're basically thorns. They're long, they're thick, and in the end, they're very pointy and very sharp. And that is important. You do not want them kind of coming at you. But since I was on the top of a ladder, not like regular ladder, that's just one and then you lean into it, but you know, the ones that you kind of fold out and that have basically 4 little legs, and then you walk up one side, but there's no steps on the other. I had to use that because I couldn't lean it towards the trunk because I wouldn't be able to reach the branches. So I set this up, and Mom was standing on the ground holding the ladder, making sure that it didn't fall, because that's important. We will get to that a little bit later, but it's important that the ladder don't fall when you're on top of it, because, you know, that could have consequences. So, and also, last time we did this, my mom helping me trim a little bit of the tree because it needed a lot of trimming. It takes time. And taking out big branches kind of freaks me out a little because, like, what will the tree feel? I want the tree to be okay. So, with that being said and done, we were trimming the tree. Mom was holding the ladder, and as I said, yeah, last time Mom had a branch hit her in the face. Not too far away from an eye, so, but that was okay. It was all okay. It was all good. But, you know, I don't want anyone to get injured. That is not a good thing to happen. Injuries. So, my mom was holding the ladder. I was on top of the ladder, getting a bigger branch down, sawing it. I think I was sawing it. Yeah, sawing it. And then it was starting to fall. I was like crouching down, like trying to hide my head. And usually that would be a good thing. And it was like I was standing on top of this ladder by like all the way on top, not quite on my tippy toes, but a little bit, and I was stretching up real high to reach the branch. And yeah, the branch itself didn't hit me that hard on the head. One of the thorns, however, got me right in the head, and that was very painful. As in, very painful. I was, like, the rest of the day, I was, like, holding my hand, saying, ouch, 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 like, basically the rest of the day, because pain. And it made a bit of a hole in my head. I got a bump, and that was, yeah, none of that was good. The only thing that was good is the branch came down. Yay! But, yeah, that was, it was not pleasant. I do not recommend it. But after my parents left, and the next day, then here is the place where I learned things, and not in the pleasant way of learning things, but I did learn things. Because we had cleared out space around a different tree that had so many dead branches in the bottom, and I've noticed that the tree is struggling, and it's struggling hard. So getting all dead branches by the bottom off would, I'm sure, help. So, I mean, my parents had left, I was alone, and I was taking out the ladder to get some of the branches off at the bottom, which in the beginning was fine. I got a lot of it done. And I was very happy about it because, you know, as I said, it needed doing. And then I sat down the ladder in the ground. Sure, the ground is always a little uneven, but in some places the ground is a little soft. So before I climbed onto the tall ladder again, and it's about, if I'm on the top step, my feet are about like, the ladder is about 2 meters high. So when my feet are on the top step, my feet is about 1.5 meters above ground. So basically almost a whole me above ground. And, you know, being careful. So I was checking that the ladder was secure, like making sure all the 4 legs had like, they were on the ground, and I was like shaking it a little and it seemed okay. And I walked up to the first step and kind of like humped a little. I don't know how to explain it, but like I was standing on top of it, like making sure it was going into the ground, but also making sure that it felt secure. And it did. So I walked my way up all the way to the top, and I had my saw with me because the branch was thick enough so I couldn't just try to cut it with clippers. I needed to use a saw. And I took one branch down and it fell, and it was great. And then I saw another branch right next to it basically that was also dead. And I figured, hey, I'm up here, I might as well. Because, I mean, I had checked. The ladder was secure. I did forget something though. Because even though I had checked and made sure that the ladder was secure, I forgot to add friction. Or more correctly, I had been adding friction when I was sawing down the first branch. That's what I learned. Because when I was going for the second branch, I raised my saw and I could feel this step or the ladder. One of the legs were starting to like ease down into the ground. And it was sliding. Or more like, it was sliding. And I was standing like on this side when it slides. And there weren't anything to hold on to. And I was like, uh-oh, I'm going down. I do not recommend that. I should have gone down, made sure that the ladder was secure before I started my next cut. I didn't. Definitely doing that next time because that was not fun. That was not pleasant. And that's the reason I say I am alive. Nothing broke. That is surprising because, you know, when you're standing 1.5 meters above ground, there's nothing to hold on to, and you can feel the ladder starting to slide. You just gotta keep your fingers crossed, except that would have taken too much time. I was just hoping, because that's the only thing I had time for, that I would be okay in my landing. I didn't exactly stick the landing. Oh my god. And, I mean, I was alone. There was no one there to help me out or take care of me if I landed badly. And I kind of did land badly. Which is, I'm mostly okay again now. Oh my god, there are some bruises. Let me tell you. They're not pretty. And, yeah. As I said, not recommended. I'm not exactly sure how I fell. Basing on the bruises on my legs and my knees and my thighs and yeah. I have no idea how all of it happened, to be honest. but I must have flipped a little because my back, it's kind of sore. It's got a bruise. I I know that on my way down, I flipped a little and then I smashed my back into the ladder while on my way down, and then I landed weirdly on the ground really hard. I broke a couple of roots when I landed, so it was a pretty hard landing. Um, and yes, there were tears, quite a few of them, because ow. I think I probably lay there like crying for like 10-15 minutes because it was so painful. Yeah. So that was a pretty hard landing. I repeat, do not recommend if you're going on a ladder and the ground is a little uneven or a little soft and anything might happen. Actually, if you're going on a ladder, make sure someone holds it. Do not do that alone. I have now tested doing that alone, and I do not recommend. In fact, I do the opposite. I don't know what that's called in English, but yeah. I was lying on the ground, crying. And since my neighbors aren't like super close to where I live, no one heard me. So I was just lying on the ground, crying, feeling sorry for myself. And yes, I will admit, feeling kind of stupid for not having checked the ladder an extra time before I started sawing on the second branch. I didn't even get to actually start the sawing because we used to saw because I went down, and I went down fast and hard, and yeah, highly do not recommend in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, that was not fun. But after my landing, I was like laying there crying for myself because, as I said, pain. And also being like, oh my god, I promised mom that I would be careful. And I thought I was. I thought for sure that I was careful. Apparently not careful enough. So, there's that. But you know, no one heard me. No one lived close enough. And I didn't have anyone here to rely on but myself. And also, earlier that day, I had started a laundry, or started the laundry machine, so I knew I had to get that out soon because it was about to be done. So, what do you do when you fall off a ladder? You make sure your fingers and toes can move and like move a little, and then it's like, oh my god, this is so much pain. It's like, but I gotta get the laundry up. And you might not think that would be the smartest idea, but for me, that actually helped me get up because I don't want to leave my laundry in the machine. It needed to be hung up to dry, you know? So I managed to like raise myself, and it actually, yes, it took a while to do it, I will admit, because pain. And like I managed to get up on all fours, and then that's when I realized, shit, I must have smashed my knee somehow. Like badly, which I had. It's quite a colorful bruise. I mean, I have bruises a lot of places, but yeah, I managed to get up on all fours, and then I just stood there on all fours for a while because like I have to get up fully. I was like, well, I do have to get the laundry up and out to dry. So yeah, eventually I managed to kind of claw myself up to a standing position. And then I did not immediately go and put the laundry up because I had luckily a chair not too far away. So I managed to like awkwardly move my body until I got close enough to the chair to like dump down into it. And then I was like, oh my God, my hip. I felt really old at that moment. Cause wow. But yeah, I sat there in the chair for yet again quite a while, feeling sorry for myself. And then I was like, well, I gotta get to the laundry. I gotta get the laundry out of the machine and put it up so it can dry. And later I have to take it down and put it up inside because I like to, as long as the weather is good enough, I prefer to put my laundry up to dry outside. It's just the thing that I do. So yeah, that I did manage to do that, but I didn't exactly do the most the rest of that day, or the day after, or yesterday. Oh wait, no, or yesterday, or the next, or the day before that, or between there. There were several days I didn't do much. I'm a lot better now. I can walk properly because I did go. This happened on Sunday. And on Monday, let's just say my ability to walk wasn't exactly, wasn't exactly all that. I was, me walking on Monday was a sorry sight. It was definitely not a sight for sore eyes unless you wanted to have someone to, like, show you sympathy. And I was more feeling on the stupid side for like, oh my God, I fell off a ladder because I didn't have the brain space apparently to think that I should check it again after I've made a lot of friction when I took down a branch. You know. So on Monday, I went to knit time. It's like hobbling in. They were like, what happened? What did you do? Are you okay? And I was like, well, it fell down a ladder. Feeling really silly. And then they tried to comfort me and it's like, don't worry, you're gonna feel even worse tomorrow. You maybe even have some broken ribs. And I was like, that's not very comforting. I'm pretty sure I don't have any broken ribs because like I'm all good around here. Or okay, there was a bruise in the back, so I'm not gonna touch too much back there, but like I'm good. I'm good. There is no bruise. Oh, there's a lot of bruising, but there is no broken rib. So in that sense, I'm good. But yeah, I guess this is where I'm telling you that if you're going up a ladder and going to work on something, the smartest thing to do is to have someone hold the ladder. Don't be like me. Please, do not fall down a ladder. It's very painful. It could have gone really bad. I mean, considering when I was lying on the ground, the pain in my back, it could have gone really bad. So in that sense, I'm like, I only have a lot of bruising and a lot of pain. I'm good. Even though it's painful, I'm good because, I mean, seriously, I could have broken probably several things, to be honest. And it's like, wow, okay, let's not do that again. Definitely not ever do that again. That doesn't fit there. So yeah, that, make sure someone holds the ladder if you're going up a ladder. Make sure someone holds it. And, or secure it in some way, or make sure, like, if you've been on a ladder and you did something, go down the ladder, get off it, make sure again that it's secure before you go up and do more. And if you're not 100% sure, move it. And then make sure it's secure before you do anything. I mean, like, yeah, that would be smart. I highly recommend that. I highly recommend that. Don't be like me. Don't fall off the ladder. So yeah, it's been a fun couple of days, you know. So not. Oh my god. And I really repeat, don't tell my mom. She don't know about this, and hopefully she'll never find out because I promised her, as I said, that I would be careful. And I mean, in my defense, I thought I was being careful. Clearly, not careful enough. I get it. Okay? I get it. But, like, seriously. Yeah. So, I guess I can be your cautionary tale to be careful on the ladder. Yeah. It's alright though. I mean, I learned something. I learned that if I do something on the ladder, and even though I think the ladder is secure, if I've been on top of the ladder, even if I think it's secure, if there has been any kind of friction, you get off the ladder and make sure again. Just to be on the safe side. Because I didn't do that. And I regret it. And I feel a little stupid for not doing it. In my defense, though, I mean, I've never been a lot on ladders, so I didn't really realize. Then again, I do have a brain and I try to use it, so maybe I should have thought about it, but as I said, I'm not someone who's been on top of a lot of ladders, so, you know, my house is really tall, and at some points I will have to paint it, so I better learn. So, in that sense, it's a lot better that I learned now than when I paint my house, because that's a lot taller than where I would have been, or where I was on that ladder. So, you know, it's not all bad, I guess. But yeah, let me be your cautionary tale. Do not fall off a ladder. How many times have I said it now? I don't know. Will I remember to next time? Boy, do I hope so. Oh my lord. Yeah, well, so that happened. Yeah, that happened. I just wanted to tell you, I needed to share, but also without telling my mom, so yeah. Okay, so if you saw my last video, you know that YouTube is slightly upset with me, and I think I figured out why. It's because I upload to YouTube and then download and then delete to be able to edit and all. So my new thing is not editing at all. I wish I could, but I still haven't figured out. I should probably just Google it and they'll probably figure it out. I'll probably figure it out, but I haven't. Because, you know, I was busy falling off a ladder. But, so not editing, so I'm gonna go over to you. Wait, this doesn't fit. Okay. And where do you go? I don't know. Anyway, okay, we'll just put it there. I'm gonna come over and take you down, and sorry about like the probably shakiness, and I'm gonna try to not turn you off while I do that.